Hi, I'm Penny Dix Astro Coach. Welcome to my in-depth look at the new moon in Leo, which is happening on the 8th of August. And Leo is a very creative sign. It's also about play. So I really hope with all the doom and gloom that we've had around us for the last few months or over a year now, that you will manage to bring some play into your lives this August. Also, I want to tell you about the very special point in time that we find ourselves in at the moment, because there's something called the Lion's Gate portal. And the numerology for it is very interesting because it's 8/8, August being the 8th month, the new moon falling on the 8th. So what is this Lion's Gate portal about? Well, it's a kind of opening, if you like, in the cosmos for more better intention, that we can really use this energy. It's like an opening, it's a gate. We can use this energy to really work hard at trying to bring the dreams that we would like to manifest into reality. But it's interesting because it's actually about Sirius. Because in the summer in the Northern Hemisphere, Sirius, which is a star, is behind the sun. But in late summer, it appears in the east before sunrise, near the sun in our sky. So you can see how it kind of links in with this new moon energy. So this really is quite an exciting new moon. And the sun, you see, is our physical body. It's our physical life whilst we're in this physical body. Whereas Sirius, the star Sirius, is our spiritual star, our spiritual self. So just quite interesting to think about. Okay, now, with this new moon, we have the planet of communication, Mercury, also in Leo, and it's right up close and personal with the sun and the moon. So, fiery news, fiery communication. You may find yourselves feeling fired up about something. Uranus, however, in Taurus, which is another fixed sign, because Leo is fixed and fire, Taurus is fixed and earth. Uranus, which is retrograde, is our planet of the unexpected, and it's making a hard angle to this new moon, which is called a square. So it's not going to be all plain sailing, but it could be quite exciting. We've also got the centaur Chiron in Aries, and that brings in some cardinal energy, but also fire. And that's making a kind aspect. It's like a trine, like part of a triangle. And so that's making a helpful aspect. So there's something about the healing energy that can come through the creation that we can allow ourselves to get into with this new moon energy. But we've also got retrograde Saturn in Aquarius, fixed, and that's an air sign, so we've got quite a balance of the elements, and we've got really a predominance of fixed energy with this new moon. Saturn is in opposition to the new moon. Is that good? Is that bad? I think it could be timely. Saturn is a planet of time, and I'll come on to explain that in a minute. So By waking up our creativity, my feeling is we allow deep healing to penetrate our soul. Leo is the heart and soul of astrology. The sun rules Leo. Without the sun, there would be no life. So in a sense, the sun in Leo represents our heart chakra. It's our gateway to the soul. So think about that Lion's Gate portal, that energy that comes in with this wonderful kind of opening in the cosmos currently. So even though the new moon is opposed by Saturn that's retrograde in Aquarius, I think Saturn is urging us to take our time, to be aware of our inner clock, and to tune in to those creative sparks that we get that lie dormant in our soul, so that we can give birth to new thought and new ideas of where we want to go to. And because Mercury in Leo is so beautifully supporting this new moon, it really is time to think outside the box about your life and your chosen path. Excuse me. I mean, are you doing what you really want to do? That's a big question, isn't it? Are you passionate about the direction that your life is progressing in? And if you're not, why not? Are you fully in tune with your intuition? Because the intuition is our personal gateway to the divine mind, to the divine intelligence, the universe, whatever the word is that you assign to that somehow greater intelligence. So it really does feel with Saturn in opposition that we have to use that energy as an inner braking system to slow down, reflect, finely tune into the signposts that are being offered to us. So even though this square from Uranus is challenging, if you use that constructively, it can help you to break through to you, to the inner you, to enable you to discard outworn habits and beliefs and find renewed faith in you. We often say to a loved one, "How can I live without you?" But how can you live a full and fulfilled life without affording the same love you give to others to yourself? There's something about this new moon energy that made me think earlier when I was researching it that if you haven't, or you're not, or you have before, this would be an excellent time. Even though the astrology does not particularly kind of highlight that, but I feel that it's a great time to seek the support and guidance of a mentor, a psychotherapist, a counselor, a coach. I'm not touting for business. Actually, I'm not, because there's something about having someone that walks alongside us on our journey, which, you know, is very tough alone. But when we do it with another, even if it's just for a short time, to be held in a space where this other person, this therapist, is completely there for us, to help us, to reflect back to us in ways that I think it's really difficult to do alone. So I just wanted to add that in at that point. I also think Uranus is offering us freedom from overthinking. If you'll just allow the new thoughts, the creative thoughts to come through. So that's how we can individually use this Leo new moon energy. And I do think you're really going to notice a lifting, a lightening of any load you've been carrying over the next 2 weeks from the 8th. We're leading up to it now because we're in this Lionsgate portal, so that energy is already around us. But on a collective level, it could be a bit tougher because we may see tough news and more restrictions, volatility in the economy. And the revolutionary energy that really has abounded since the start of 2020 with the pandemic may be expressed more hotly at this time as people continue to resist local restrictions. And Uranus certainly wants to stir up the masses. And I think we have to be mindful that fiery Leo's energy doesn't produce too much heat. Now, I live in the southern Mediterranean, and if you watch the news, you'll know that southern Europe has and still is experiencing the most extraordinary heat wave, heat dome, heat spell. And where I am in Malta, it's just as bad as everywhere else. And it's so bad that thankfully we've not had, touch wood, any fires yet in these islands, but it's always a possibility. And it's so hot that you really can't go out. So it's not like, oh, wonderful, what lovely heat. I can go and swim and play and frolic on the beach. No, it's too hot for that. I mean, some people do, but I think they find they can only do it in short bursts, and it's quite tough. So, you know, the energy that we have at the moment with Leo, with Uranus, you know, in a sense, you know, the extreme hot weather conditions and the accompanying problems that go with them are very typical of the Uranus-Saturn square. Uranus is in an earth sign. Saturn is in an air sign that fans the flames. And of course, Leo with this new moon is a fire sign. And the unpredictability of Uranus means we can't really know exactly how that's going to manifest. But with this heat, you could see earth tremors or earthquakes even with this kind, and that's very Uranian, that's very Uranus energy. So we have to sort of, in a sense, expect the unexpected. The other thing that came to me is that Leo is also the sign of royalty. So, you know, we might see royalty or public figures that have a sense of the royal touch about them in the public eye over the next few weeks. And I think it would be in that sort of shocking sense. So surprises may happen around that area. But, you know, as always, if we go with the flow, let go willingly, we will triumph. Remember, there's plentiful personal healing, and that's really being offered by the Chiron kind aspect to this new moon. If we use the energy wisely, slow down, Take your time with everything. If everything's too much, if everything's on top of you, if you feel you can't go on, just know that the blocks that are being put up in front of you are a course direction, and trust it. Now, let's move on to your individual zodiac signs. So, Aries. I think, Aries, you could be surprising people with outspoken comments about what you're passionate about. But I also think you have to exercise a bit of caution here, Aries. And you need to allow intuitive thinking to guide you, especially in that journey you're on to manifest an important dream. So let's have a look at what's happening for Taurus. This new moon is giving you a chance to smooth any troubled waters you have with family. But be mindful of how you come across, because the Uranian energy is making you a force to be reckoned with. So try not to be the bull in the china shop. Think before you speak, think before you act, breathe, take time out, use some restraint. Think of that Saturn energy just saying, no, slow down. Softly, softly wins the race. Gemini. Well, this new moon has got your thoughts racing as you kind of work out how to navigate all the travel restraints imposed by Saturn, well, and the pandemic. But, you know, in a sense, the restraints that we've got are imposed by Saturn, and it's taking the form of the pandemic. Listen, Gemini, to your intuition before you make hard, fast decisions. Because, you know, as a Gemini, you tend to follow your mind. Whereas this new moon really is asking you to follow your heart. Cancer. Wow, well, you have new ideas flooding in of ways to budget your finances, your joint finances, put the brakes on another spending, or equally on an extravagant part of yourself. The energy of this new moon is also asking you not to make knee-jerk decisions based on maybe what could be misinformation or inflated information that comes from the collective. Do your personal research before you hand in the towel on a dream. Leo, well, of course, the new moon is in your sign. So this is a very personal lunar event for you. And because the new moon in your sign is conjunct Mercury, it's very much about you. And I think you are going to feel inspired. I think if you felt a bit stuck, that feeling is going to shift. Your creativity is really going to flow. And I think that you'll see the benefits of allowing relationships to work themselves out without you forcing issues. Because sometimes, Leo, you want to, you know, get it all sorted. But actually, if you just use that Saturn energy in Aquarius in your 7th house to slow down and just let relationships, friendships sort themselves out in their own time. There also might be shocks or disruptions on your career path, but I think you have to recognize these for what they are. And in a sense, they may just be timely opportunities to make course directions and to steer yourself in a slightly different way. Virgo. I think, Virgo, you felt a bit trapped recently and confined by routines, but this new moon is really giving you a chance to break out a bit. You know, maybe a spontaneous journey might kind of come up as an opportunity, and that would really give you a new lease of life. So if anything like that comes up, because sometimes Virgo overthinks it, oh, maybe I shouldn't, maybe I'll get stuck somewhere, maybe then I'll have to do quarantine, or what am I going to do? You know, Virgo, sometimes we just have to do it. Libra. Okay. You, Libra, are lovely balanced sign of love. You're going to be putting a voice to a dream that you want to manifest with this new moon. And I think it's time to think creatively about how you move forward with this idea. And you know what, Libra, I think there's going to be unexpected events, therefore I can't predict them, that will give you a helping hand. Scorpio. Well, Scorpio, your public image is shining with this new moon. You're going to have plenty to say about where you want your life path to move towards. The only problem is that family members might be reluctant to support your amazing ideas. And you've got to watch out for unexpected events that might develop with a close relationship that actually take matters out of your hands. Sagittarius. Oh, Sagittarius. You so much want to fly away, somewhere, anywhere, just away from everything. And I think you're going to be feeling quite vocal about this and going over the possibilities and can you do it, can't you do it, how can I do it, how should I do it? And because of the restrictions still being laid down by Saturn, and we might find we get news in the media that just makes it quite difficult for it to still happen yet. I know it's frustrating. It's frustrating for all the signs because it's just we're caught in this cycle, and it's a Saturn, Uranus and a Pluto cycle, and until they've fully played out their energies, we are going to be stuck in this loop. Capricorn, time to start anew. And you might find you're thinking of new ways to kickstart yourself and just get yourself in general, seeing everything, life in a new way. There's an innovative idea that you have, but I feel the energy at the moment is suggesting you keep it under wraps for the time being. Allow it to take form in its own time. Go slow with this one, Capricorn, because the masterpiece of your future cannot be rushed. Okay, Aquarius. Are you feeling some sort of reluctance about something? It's like there's an idea presented from someone close, which actually means you'd have to kind of move out of your comfort zone. That's not easy for an Aquarian. Aquarius likes that little bit of distance and space and sense that they have some kind of say on the boundaries. But you might find, Aquarius, that the unexpected developments on the home front could mean that changes are coming. And then we come to Pisces. A new lease of life for you, Pisces, for your daily routine. And Saturn in Aquarius retrograde has actually, this slowdown that Saturn is bringing in has helped you to take time out and recharge your batteries. because it's good that you've had that time out, because there's going to be a deluge of communications soon, and some of which could be quite startling and quite interesting. So bear that in mind, Pisces. So all in all, this new moon, I think, will lift the energy. And even though there are certain restrictions that we are going to have to manage for a while longer, it will change. I can promise you that. I can't promise you exactly when, but I can promise you it will change, because if there's one thing that is certain in life, it's change. So I'd like to say thank you so much for joining me for this new moon in Leo video. And I would like to say, if you would like to have an astro coaching session with me, I'd love to work with you. Please check out my website. You'll find it in the description box. And also, this will be on YouTube as of tomorrow, and I'd really super love it if you haven't already to subscribe to my YouTube channel. I want to make 1,000 people by Christmas, so please help me with that. Be super cool. And in the meantime, thank you so much for joining me tonight. I wish you an absolutely blessed new moon. Make the most of that Lionsgate portal energy, because there's something there that you could really initiate and get moving. Okay, thanks for joining me. Bye for now.